Hello and welcome to the Gamer back again, and today I thought I'd just ask a simple question. And maybe I'm just projecting my own kind of burnout with the whole scene, but is the retro gaming bubble on YouTube, was it a bubble, and is the fad over? And are the channels that are established now, and is there any room for any other retro gaming channels to fit in? I just kind of asked this question as I'm looking through my subscriptions, and I see a bunch of the old channels I used to watch just kind of rehashing and covering the same things over and over again. Now, this isn't every channel. There are some channels that are still on a creative high that are covering really interesting topics, but for the most part, I see a lot of let's rate every game by this developer for whichever system possible, and I see this from multiple channels. We're doing pickup videos. Oh my goodness, are we done with pickup videos? I mean, how many more pickup videos do we actually need? I'm not saying that creators are being lazy. Time is sometimes life is busy, and I'm not saying that they're being necessarily lazy. It's just even with the algorithm changes on YouTube where you constantly feel as if you have to put up content. And maybe some of it is lacking in the quality it used to, because you can get as many views from a PS5 scalper video, possibly more, than you can from a, here's 10 games for this system that do this, So it seems almost like you get as much reward for, not say lazy content, but just throwing content out there and keeping the algorithm happy. But I think not just that, I think retro gaming is kind of like Burnout territory now. We've had over a decade of success at this thing, a decade of channels covering any game you can think of. There's already a review. It's not like the early days of YouTube, like in 2007 when I started, where there were games that just hadn't even been covered or discovered yet per se. Discovered by the general, retro gaming public per se. Started out with the AVGN, it was pretty novel at the time, the retro gaming thing was. Yes, the humor in the AVGN was pretty campy, but it was all satirical, but then it just kind of took off and skyrocketed from there. And then, we've had all these channels that have come up, and now they're huge channels. They got people making money full-time off of YouTube, just based off of like retro gaming. But again, looking around, maybe it's my own burnout from a lot of content I see out there that I just don't even bother watching anymore. But there are still plenty of channels I still watch that do great content. They're on a creative high. But I've noticed a lot of like the bigger channels, I think that in the future it's just like, what do we got? We got drama videos, daily news drama videos. Yes, there are scalpers on a new video game console. Welcome to the video game world, where this happens like every time. Ever since the invention of eBay, or the, rising of eBay and Amazon. Of course people have done this. They've done it since the PS2. I remember hearing those things going for thousands of dollars back when the PS2 launched, because no one could get their hands on one. So that's not anything new, but I was watching something from, I think it was Top Hat Gaming Man. I didn't watch his full stream, but it said retro games are dead. And at first I was like, crap, he beat me to this subject. But in reality, he was talking about viewership and how right now the current trending thing is, Xbox X, Series X and PS5 scalpers and system issues and drama and whatnot, the daily news, and so viewership on retro gaming channels is down. But again, for me, this was a bigger, I'm kind of posing a bigger question here. Like, are we all it seems like, I won't say that other channels are putting out lazy content. I mean, I'm in no place to say this, honestly. This isn't my normal content. I'm right now, I'm just kind of reshuffling in my channel and figuring out not necessarily what works, but trying to rediscover my love of playing games, because when you always feel like you have to be playing something relevant, for every one video I put up, there's like 10 videos I started and just gave up on. So, because I always feel this pressure to play something interesting. But in the future, I just wonder if it's not all going to be move to just being podcasts and streaming. Because right now, like I said, the videos that are getting views that I see from my subscribers are the channels I'm subscribed to are just like, here's 50 more pickups, an hour of pickup videos. I've been guilty of pickup videos in the past, but man, I'm kind of tired of seeing pickup videos personally. If that's your thing, if you just to give you ideas for your own collection, that's cool. But for me, it's just like, man, how many more? I mean, are we just doing show and tell now? Do we need more unboxings? Do we need more pickup videos? Do we really need to rate every game from a certain developer for every system? Does every channel need to do this? I know it's cheap views, and if you want to stay relevant in the algorithm, this is what people have to do. We have our daily commentary, or the review text, or the Dreamcast guys out there, or RG85, or some other channels I watch that are now just commentary channels. So, but the whole like gaming and retro scene, I don't know. For me personally, again, this could just be me projecting. Maybe you're new to it, and maybe it's fresh and cool, and you're still like deep inside of it. I don't know, deeply into it. I'm not sure, but I don't know. I don't know where you're at, but personally, there's a lot of content out there that is just like I've seen it before. Maybe that's just it. I've just watched too many retro gaming videos. I mean, how many different pickup videos can you really watch? Is it more to see what someone else is playing, or to get ideas for your own collection, or are we just all kind of bored? Is that why, we'll stream or watch streams of people playing games and mostly just have like an open discussion? I think that's the best thing about streaming, is you can have like an open discussion on air with people about whatever. So it's kind of like maybe like a radio program. But in the future, I mean, like I said, there's still channels that do really good in-depth stuff. Like I said, I watched Top Hat Gaming Man. Lately, I've been watching Guru Larry, LOU, because one, European gaming is like a mystery. Retro gaming is a mystery to me. Like, you can hold an Amstrad CPC and then a Fairchild in front of me, and I wouldn't know the difference between the two because they weren't really big in, the US. I could generally tell you what a Commodore 64 is, but, so that part's interesting, and like the historical coverage of a game, more in-depth research than I'm even capable of, because I'm not quite intelligent, but... So there's still plenty of channels, that do interesting content, that kind of cover interesting aspects to me, that are interesting to me, maybe not to everyone else. Maybe everyone else just likes the pickup videos. But that's the collection videos I've been guilty of in the past too, but I don't know. I think with the algorithm changes, there's been a lot of, I won't say laziness, but it seems kind of like there's been a lot of burnout. The same videos. This video was successful, do 5 more pickup videos. One of the channels I watch or am subscribed to, I don't watch much anymore. It's like that's like the last 5 videos are like, here's an hour of pickups. And I mean, that's cool. Maybe it's more discussion based. If it's like a stream, you interact with streamers and talk random video games. But in the future, I don't know. Where do you guys see retro gaming going? Because, like I said, at first it was the AVGN and everyone did the angry reviews. They were kind of a novelty at the time, even though the campy humor and the goofy skits, kind of made you roll your eyes. Like, it wasn't great comedy by any means, but it was a novelty. It was kind of cool. You were covering retro games and being goofy, and I don't know. But as far as the general retro scene, I don't know. Perhaps it's all been covered. Perhaps it's all Burnout. Maybe now it's just you're just following people because you like them, because they're content creators and you followed them for a while. Or, I know that a lot of the video making and content creating is marketing yourself more than your games. So you've been a long-time fan of some channels. There are still retro gaming channels that could put up a video of the creator taking a dump and it'd still get 100 to 200,000 views. People, are we all just kind of watching these channels just because we've always watched them? Or, content-wise, I don't know. I think everything's been covered that could possibly be covered, but not everything, everyone has a different take, different viewpoint, and I guess that's kind of the appeal there. But as far as viewership, yeah, viewership's down, whatever. I just kind of do this as a hobby anyways, personally. Yeah, it does suck to put in 50 hours on a video to get 200 views, but I guess that's why a lot of it, I won't say lazy path, but why you get so many commentary videos now and everyone's streaming, because in streams, they can get donated money to and all this other stuff, and then you have an open conversation with your fans, and that's kind of that interaction. So I can see the appeal, but for me, I don't know. I just, the whole scene just seems kind of burnout. Maybe I've just seen it all. I've done it all. Actually, I haven't done it all. Don't get me wrong. My channel, I barely put up videos anymore. The last few games I've picked up were just 4 videos. In fact, my last pickups were for my Atari video, the Spotlight Atari remakes for the PS1 video I made. And then, for me personally, yes, obviously views are down. My videos that get the most views are my old gameplay sample videos still. Right now, the number one is Doom on the PS1. My quick gameplay sample, that's my most watched video in the last 28 days. Same thing with, my Donkey Kong 64 footage gets a lot of views. The only voiced over video I have that's getting decent views is my Spotlight PS1 first person shooters video, which I appreciate. And I'm not saying I don't appreciate fans or anyone, those of you who actually do watch my content. But for me personally, just as a general fan, because I tend to watch a lot of retro stuff on YouTube. I'm aware of all these other channels. I've been subscribed to some channels for over a decade. Been on YouTube since 2007. And maybe I missed my window to do voiceover and get big, but life is life. I was busy living my regular everyday life. I never, looked at YouTube as a means to get rid of my income. The full-time YouTube thing is something more recent, because when you first started, you did it because you wanted to and you didn't get paid for anything. But now I just think with the pressure, yes, the algorithm, it almost seems like people are going to reward payoff versus time put in, I think, is a big issue. Like I said, some of my videos can take up to 50 hours to make, mostly just playing the game, depending on how long the game is, and then trying to script it and then work a full schedule and all that fun stuff, because, I do this as a hobby, but it just seems like sometimes you'll spend 50 hours on a video and it doesn't get as many views as someone's commentary on the PS5 scalpers. Like how much more new news do you need? And again, smaller channels like mine, we can't compete with channels who do this every day and, put up 9 videos a day just to make the algorithm happy. There's still plenty of great channels out there. Maybe I should start spotlighting and reviewing those channels just to show you some of the things I still watch. Like I said, still watch Top Hat Gaming Man and their Guru Larry, the British scene. Don't ask me why. I just somehow got caught up in the British gaming, retro gaming scene. Still, haven't really watched a lot of Digital Foundry lately. Ahoy does some good stuff too, like really long, really well researched videos. And LGR still, Lazy Game Reviews. And some of the smaller channels too. I try and look in on you guys too. Try and comment when I can. It's just, I fall prey of being lazy whenever I look at my YouTube suggested videos and just click on whatever. That's just kind of mindless YouTubing anymore. And I don't remember actually. I kind of remember, because I'd take breaks from YouTube and not even have internet. In the last 10 years, there's been probably a year and a half worth of not even having internet at my place, not even having a smartphone or anything like that. So I wasn't there for the changes. I'd just clock back or log back in on occasion and be like, where'd my subscriptions go? Because you remember that your subscriptions used to be right on the front page. And the same thing with going to your video editor, your video YouTube studio now. But so things have changed, and I can understand. I just kind of wondering. I mean, any game I could review, there's probably like 1,000 other reviews, and that's on a game that is like hidden. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, are you getting tired of the retro scene? Is there only so much people can cover, and does it seem like creators themselves are kind of burnt out and just kind of going more for, like I said, I won't say lazy, but just an easier content to make, commentaries, podcasts, streaming, or do we all just need to go back and find our love of actually like playing games? Game Sack's another channel I watch. Don't ask me why that just randomly popped in my head. This is how I conversate. Like, that comment I was gonna say 5 minutes ago? Oh, it just popped back into my head, but I don't. And then I just lost my track of thought. But I don't know. Do you think that in the future are we all just going to be doing podcasts and streaming, or do we all need to rediscover? I think that's the other thing. Like, whenever I've streamed a little, I just get to just chill and play a game, which is something I really don't do anymore. You want to kill your favorite hobby, turn it into a career, or just put pressure on it. Start doing it for not necessarily money, but like, YouTube. I've always pressured myself to, cover something interesting, and in turn, that means I don't really just sit down and pop a game I want to play in, and I always feel like I have to be playing something interesting for YouTube purposes anymore. I mean, that's probably my own hang-ups and my own, issues, but I don't know. And not a lot of channels even talk about the games anymore. It's I like I said, I like a lot of the deep historical content, interesting, going into the past. Here's what this magazine said about the game when it was released, and I just watched like Top Hat Gaming Man's thing on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and he went through how it was received when it was released versus how it was panned after the AVGN review, and which we all knew. I mean, Turtles isn't that bad of a game. I could never beat it as a child. That was my really my only complaint, is I think I could get to the airfield level before I just die and lose my last turtle. So that's the furthest I've ever gotten in the game, but I don't know. For me, I don't really know where I'm going with my channel content. Obviously, this isn't my normal. I don't even know what my normal is, because if you look, I just started out with straight gameplay videos, and then I'd post little reviews in the section underneath the comment, or the video description, I should say. And then I started doing voiceover, and now I don't really know. Maybe I'll just give up and quit YouTube altogether, or I don't know, just cover whatever I'm gonna cover, views or no views, popular or not popular. It doesn't really matter, I guess. Just I don't know. I just know that I'm so sick of pickup videos. Can we please, retro gamers out there? I doubt very many of the big channels are ever going to see this. Well, if they do, they'll just make a video on whether or not the YouTube retro gaming bubble is, if it's already popped, without giving me credit, and get 200,000 to 1 million views on their video and never give me credit. I've actually already noticed that there are some channels that have kind of, borrowed ideas, whether it be them or one of their patrons telling them to cover this instead. But, for example, like my Half-Life Uplink video demo, I covered that like 2 years ago, and then there's a larger channel that I do watch and appreciate. I'm not causing drama. It's not really plagiarism, it's common knowledge, and they obviously did it better than I ever could, because I don't actually claim to be very good at this. But I have noticed that there are some channels that have borrowed, but then again, I've seen blatant plagiarism in other videos, like just not even gaming related ones. There was one that was like the top 10 list videos. I don't even remember what the video was about, but so I watched one and I got bored with it, and I clicked onto another one of the similar thing, and word for word, this video plagiarized the other video. So I don't know if anyone ever called them out, or maybe they're all in the same company, so they're allowed. But Uh, I don't know. What else is there to do with the retro gaming thing? Are we all kind of done? Should we all just go back to playing and just reviewing games, or just streaming? Are we just going to be streaming and podcasting and talking about collecting? Do we really need more collection videos or pickup videos? Again, I've been guilty of them in the past. They do get views. And, if you're just trying to think of new content and constantly pressuring yourself to play through a game and write a review and voice over and edit it, my process I showed in a previous video is rather long and takes forever. But so I understand the commentary content and why people just want to stream and do pickup videos and rate every game from one developer for each system, because right now those are getting views. But again, from what I've heard, according to the Top Hat Gaming Man in his stream, is that reviews on retro gaming generally in the retro gaming scene are generally just down across the board. Right now it's PS5 and Xbox Series X. Xbox Series X. Holy crap, Microsoft. I hate how you name things, but it's that drama that's getting the most views, and you see the big channels, like I said, Review Tech, the Dreamcast guy, RG85, even 8-Bit Eric, who's another one I'm subscribed to, constantly, it's those commentary channels that are getting hundreds of thousands of views, because that's the current trend. But I'm not saying that quality has gone down, but you remember back on YouTube when people would put up a video and it was really well edited, well researched, done, and it took them, you can tell they took their time, and it took them a very long time to make. Versus now with the current algorithm, assuming the algorithm doesn't change in the future, and then this entire, era of YouTube is just in the dustbin, hopefully. But if you look at the quality, when people used to take a lot more time on their videos, and again, I've been guilty of this lately. I've just been doing commentary videos and streaming and just trying to find my way. Mostly I'm just trying to rediscover my love of playing games and playing retro games and just, whatever. Life has been a little rough this year for myself, and I'm sure everyone else too. And not just this year, in the last decade, give or take. So it's been hard for me to even make content and focus on it, But I mean, should we go back to the old days where people would take a month to, edit down a video to something interesting? Or not that I would ever take that long. Again, I have one day off to do voiceover and editing, and, I'll just sit there and grind an entire day, which is why some of my, I don't claim to have the best content or the highest quality, but those old channels, if you look at some of their old reviews and their old videos, it seemed like they took a lot more time. But then again, payoff versus time put in. If you commentate daily on a video, you just commentate and you just kind of throw it away. It's not even you didn't take your time on it. I don't know if it's really something you have a pride thing that you took so much time to create something interesting, or if you just, here's this news article, here's my take, okay, video 1 of the day is up, okay, and then, here's the second piece of news of the day. And there's a place for those kinds of channels. I'm not, disparaging them. It's just, for me, it's, I won't say it's cheaper content, but with the way the algorithm is, I can't, it's just kind of how things are going right now. So what do you think? Do you think we've kind of moved past on the retro game things? Because, again, it seems like a lot of the channels are bored, and there's only so many more systems and games. I mean, there's so many games you can cover. There's thousands upon thousands of games, but in what depth and, has the algorithm kind of made the retro gaming scene suffer a little, do you think? As far as quality of content versus having to put up quantity of content to be, algorithm friendly, or I don't know. Do you think the content has suffered, and are you kind of tired of seeing pickup videos and whatever else? I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just tired of pickup videos and collection videos, and maybe it's just time to rediscover my love of actually just playing games. And maybe this is my own hang up, but do you think that the retro gaming bubble on YouTube, as far as the scene and it being littered with great channels and high quality content, not that it always was, but people tried at least. Do you think that a lot of creators aren't really even trying anymore, or it's just that urge that need to keep content flowing because of the algorithm changes is kind of killing the quality of these videos? I mean, yes, it's just daily commentary videos, not just daily, but that's why you get commentary channels now. People are branching out to past gaming stuff, and it's just in order to appeal to a wider audience. So, and you've got those channels that are big and established, and is there any room for smaller channels anymore? That's the real question. Is if you're going to start a retro gaming channel, should you take John Hancock's advice from that video he released, I don't remember how many years ago, where he was just saying that if you're going to start this, just don't. There's already too many channels doing it. Our competition is good, though, I'm just saying so. But do you think there's any room for any more smaller channels rising up to being the big channels and displacing bigger channels? I mean, one of the biggest, is still going to there's always going to be those big channels that no matter what, they'll always get views, because they were like kind of the pioneers, if you will. Like I said, AVGN, whether or not I always agree with his angry reviews, they're satirical, and, not that every game he covers is actually crap either, but he finds interesting points, and that was always the appeal there. The fart humor, whatever, I can do without cheesy comedy skits, but, no matter what he does, he's going to get 100,000 to 1,000,000 views on whatever video. Like I said, he could take a video of him taking a dump, and it would probably get 1,000,000 views still. So he's obviously like one of the most established channels. Metal Jesus Rocks, some GameSack again. I still enjoyed GameSack though, because they mostly cover games and stuff too. So, but it seems like I can't compete with lists. I was trying to do 5 underrated PS2 games, but it's such a taxing time. So taxing on my time. I'd love to do more of them, but again, it's just all the research, and then just with life being life and being how it is, I just don't have time lately. So I feel like I'm letting my channel go and skimping on it, but then again, I don't know. What do you guys think? 1, was there a bubble? 2, are we all kind of bored with retro gaming now? 3, is there room for smaller channels to rise up now and become those bigger channels? And 4, are you happy with the current content thanks to the algorithm changes? I guess that's the questions. I'll just make this a tag video. Do you remember when they used to do tag videos and they'd ask a certain other content channel creator, a tag video, and then everyone would respond to it? Whatever happened to those? Oh yeah, YouTube changed. Anyway, so what do you think? Is retro gaming not necessarily over? It will always be popular, but as far as the scene on YouTube, did it already pass us all by? Should we just move on to podcasts and streaming and, just not lazy content, but easy content, easier content than, doing a full research on a game and then doing a full review, or some people do full walkthroughs room by room, or, what do you think? Is it in a bubble? Did the bubble pop? Is there going to be a resurgence? And is there room for new channels and more people to start doing this again and just kind of bring it back to talking about games? Because I realize that we don't really talk about games anymore. We just kind of talk about our collection of games now. Or, it's, I don't know. Maybe that's, again, my own hang-up. Because I don't really play a lot of games just to enjoy them anymore. If I'm playing a game, I'm recording it for some reason, or a video I was going to do or thinking of doing, and then in the end I just scrap it all and say, screw it, I don't got time, or I can't make this the quality I want, or, that video is dumb. It's all part of the brainstorming process, but I tend to overdo it and burn myself out from the whole thing. But I don't know. So, wow, I'm already almost on half an hour of this video. So, I guess I'll just call it quits. If you sat here and listened, what are your thoughts on this? Thank you for listening to my half an hour rambling. And, I don't know. Where do you see retro gaming in the future on YouTube? Are we just going to watch the main established channels as they, show us their game pickups and rate every game for whatever developer on a system? Or do you think that, I don't know, maybe I'm just burnt out of watching it after, 13 years of it on YouTube as my main YouTube watching? I've branched out more, but I used to just do nothing but watch game stuff, but maybe I burnt myself out. And maybe I'm just, projecting my own burnout on the whole scene. Or do you think the scene is kind of dying or just already kind of dead and now it's just kind of like a shell of its former self? Kind of like whenever a deer gets hit with a bow and arrow or shot with a gun and it keeps galloping away, not realizing it's already dead, but it's still moving before it hits the ground. So, what is your take? And again, thanks for listening if you listened to this whole entire thing. 2D Gamer signing out.